Just getting down with my bad self over here. You guys, how's everybody doing? It's Wednesday. Hello, greetings, salutations. It's hump day. Mock, 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 mock.
Hello.
All right, what's coming up on the show today? I'm going to tell you. We have said sayonara, baby, to another squad member, y'all. So excited about that. So great. And lots of reaction to No Balls Walz. Plus, the mainstream media has gotten their marching orders for new talking points. We're going to chat about that today. Also, Josh Shapiro has his Howard Dean moment. Jamaal Bowman is still in the midst of a steroid-filled psychotic break. And Google's about to face the wrath of Ilhan and friends. All of that and so much more coming up on the show. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to all the things. Do it. You can do that at chicksontheright.com/links. chicksontheright.com/links. Do it. All the things, all of it. Also, you should visit My Pillow and support us and Mike Lindell. MyPillow.com/chicks. Use code chicks for like a lot of $25 deals.
Still
on a lot of products, including, oh my God, there are dog beds. There are beds for your dog.
Oh my gosh.
So many things. So MyPillow.com/chicks. Use code chicks. Do it.
Do it today. Okay. It's going to be a long show. And we're just going to get right into it because there's so much to cover. So quickly first, thank you for your continuous prayers about all of the storm affected places and people. Happy to report one of the neighbors sent me a picture of our house yesterday. It's still standing. It's not even puddles. There's not even puddles. I don't know how our neighborhood.
You probably could have gone. You probably could have gone.
I maybe could have gone, but like I just worried about getting there because there's a lot of inland areas that are flooded, but coastal areas seem to be okay, which it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what's happened. And I was just telling Daisy before the show that the forecasters are predicting 19 more named storms this season. That means between now and November. That's a lot of storming activity. So just keep those prayers coming if you would, please. And then also, yes, it's true. Cori Bush out of here.
Bye.
Lost her primary yesterday to a guy named Wesley something. Wesley Bell, I think is his name. I don't know anything about him. He could be just as bad for all I know.
Yeah, I don't either.
But she's gone, and that is a good thing.
She's gone. Yeah, so great.
Really, really, really good thing, you guys.
I wonder what she's gonna do now.
Yeah, that's a great. Maybe she'll just hang out with Jamaal and like do.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
What do you do when you lose and you're a loser and you're all about the losing? What do you do? What do you do?
What do you
Cori?
do when you're that loser?
When you're that big of a loser, what do you do?
Also, quick reminder that there will be no show on Thursday and Friday of this week. So today is like Friday. This is going to be the last show of the week. So please remember that. And you don't need to send emails asking where we are because we're telling you in advance.
We're telling you right now. What are you doing? What are you doing tomorrow? Are you packing?
Yeah, doing a lot of packing and just spending time with my boy who is,
going to college.
A week from tomorrow, we're driving him away forever.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird because you're driving one to college next week. Mine is starting high school next week, and we're actually going on a college visit tomorrow. Yeah, it's so weird. We're at such different places in life, but kind of it's so weird. Like I can't.
We're at big milestone places, though.
I can't believe that Jackson's going to college. I can't. He was 2 days. I know 2 days ago. You guys, so pray for Mock because she's going to be in the fetal position next week. It's coming.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's going to be.
And I'm not. My daughter's going to high school next week. I'm not okay. I'm not okay about that. I know it's not the same as a kid going to college, but like they grow up way too fast. It's just
way too.
None of it's okay.
It's not okay.
No.
And also, speaking of milestones, a point of personal privilege, if I may. Sweet, precious Ella dog turns 15 tomorrow, you guys. And so I will definitely be posting a picture on our insiders and locals for our locals folks, because I'm going to make her wear like a birthday hat. I'm going to make her wear like a birthday bandana. Because that is a milestone, you guys. 15 years.
It's a milestone. It is. Yeah. I hope you give her something other than pumpkin as a treat.
Oh, she's getting some treats tomorrow.
Some ice cream or a piece of cake. Crying out loud.
Yeah, something like that. She's definitely going to get something amazing for sure. Yeah, she will. All right. We've got some folks to thank, I know, over on Locals and here too, and on Venmo. And we'll get to that in just a second. But first, we got to catch up from yesterday, because Christy Fredericks sent this Venmo saying, "Good morning. I need one of those It's Gonna Be a Long Show t-shirts." And so you got yours yesterday.
I got mine.
Right?
I got mine. It's blue and I love it.
So cute. Oh my God, I love that.
I love it so much. Thank you for the shirt. I love it.
Well, now we know who sent it. So before you show your other thing, let me just show you this email from Carrie Heath from Phoenix. She is the one that created that amazing design. And she saw me wearing it yesterday. She said, "I sent you one as well, Daisy." And Carrie, she got it, obviously. So she apologized for like the package insert not showing her name. But she has an Etsy store called In Real Life Creations over on Etsy. And so she designs apparel and gifts. So when we kept saying we need a shirt that said it's going to be a long show, she designed it for us. And she's the one that added the glasses, added the ball cap.
Brilliant.
It's amazing. So
really great.
She's so talented. So talented. So thank you very much to Carrie.
Yes, Carrie, thank you so much. Love it. And then I also, from Nancy, I got my quilt yesterday.
Look at this.
I thought for sure I was like expecting Tennessee, but no, she knows how much I love leopard. You guys check it out. It's all like leopard and animal print. Look at that. How cute is that? And then the back is all leopard.
Leopard, so talented.
So talented. Leopard is my neutral.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you.
So very sweet. So very sweet. And then also from yesterday, we got this message from Kyle Overbay, who said, "Shout out from Amarillo, Texas."
What?
And Beba over at the ball pit said, "Kamala backs men in women's sports. She is anti-women. She doesn't look out for this woman, XX, if you need a definition. Dems back DEI. So why is her being a DEI hire bad? Explain that. They have all had a Kamala-botomy." Kamala-botomy.
Say that 5 times fast.
I love that. Love it. Is that the last one over here? Oh, no, it's not. Scott Misak said, "I want to wish my wonderful wife, Chris, a happy 25th wedding anniversary on Wednesday." That is today. She has been a loyal listener insider for many years and brought me along when I retired in December of 2022. Keep up the great work. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Okay, so before we go on further, let me make sure that I recognize everybody already this morning, because it's been a very, very generous morning already from our audience. Autumn Vanetta over on Venmo said, "One of my favorite." Oh, it's Dad Joke Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, that's right. You always forget.
She said, "One of my favorites from your radio days." I remember telling this one. It's Elton John bought his pet rabbit a treadmill. So you know what he's got? It's a little fit bunny. Oh, that's not a good one.
It's a little fit bunny. It is.
It's a little. Anyway, over on Locals, Gerber said, "What do you call an alligator in a vest?" It's an investigator.
It is.
Osuki said, "He's a man who praises a creature who held a gun to the stomach of a pregnant woman and threatened to kill her baby. There's something mentally wrong with a man who glorifies anyone like that." You're going to need to say actual names.
When know who you're talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about. And then Working Stiff said, "About Cori Bush, maybe you could ask Liz Cheney what she does. Wait, about Cori Bush. Maybe you could ask Liz Cheney what she does. Oh, what she does, not now that she got her ass kicked out of Congress. Okay, there were sorry, there were some typos in there.
Yes.
And that was tough.
Well, she lives off her family money, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Osuki says she was talking about Walz. Okay, let us get to Walz. You're so anxious.
I know.
So anxious.
We're gonna be talking
let
about
us get there.
so much Walz today. It's gonna be like all the balls to the walls.
Kim Poole says, proud to announce Cori Bush lost in St. Louis last night. You didn't need to announce it because we already did.
Yes, she did.
I promise we do get to things. Brian Brumley said, if you have a security issue online, just change all your passwords to Kenny. Then you will have all Kenny logins.
You love that so much.
I do love that one.
Yeah. You're taking the highway to the danger zone with
he
that
says,
one.
Please take my money as I show myself out. Don't forget to tip your servers.
Do it.
John Newbaum says MSM JD Vance is weird. JD Vance, but bolt-on breasts on the White House lawn is normal. If that's considered normal, I would rather be weird.
We're bringing
right?
Decency back to the White House, you guys.
Oh my gosh, for sure. And there's even more. But before we get to the more, we need to tell you, if you are like us and you have that sort of, I don't know if you have the same midday slump that I do. Mine is literally 3:00 every day is when I'm just like.
Mine's 2. So because I'm Central Time. It's Central Time. Right.
Okay. Okay, well, we have the antidote for you. It is the focus and recall. This is what helps you stay productive when you're hitting that wall in the middle of the afternoon and you don't want to like slam a caffeine, like a Coke or something or a coffee. You don't want to do that. This has got all the things that you need in order to boost your brain power and stay productive and keep your focus and recall alive. This is from healthycell.com/chicks. And of course, it has this marvelous peach flavor. So these are the gel packs that when you ingest them, your body absorbs it 165% better than any kind of other vitamin pill, tablet, capsule, whatever. And it's better for you, obviously, than some of those like super high powered, God forbid you do one of those, what are they, like the Jolts or the
like Monster energy drinks and stuff. No, don't do that.
Those. They're so terrible for you.
Don't give you a heart attack. Just stop.
Seriously, this is what you need. It's focus and recall. You can get 20% off of your first order at healthycell.com/chicks when you use code chicks. So make sure to check that out because the mid-afternoon slump is, it doesn't mess around.
Probably doesn't help that we get up at like 3:45 in the morning. But
that may have
a little bit to do with it.
Could be a factor.
Maybe a little bit.
Michael Steller says, good morning, chicks. Finnegan and I wanted to drop in and say hi.
Oh my gosh,
Finn. John Newbaum says, MSM, that's it. That's the joke. Hashtag DJW. By the way, a friend of mine is taking his daughter to Purdue on Sunday.
Oh, boiler up. Love it.
So hard. Donkey Hody says, today is my 50th birthday and I have nobody to spend it with here, so I'm celebrating it with y'all. You make my mornings better every single day, so thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And Bowl Now says, my daughter had her preschool graduation Friday. I thought I was going to be okay. I was until I saw her in her cap and gown. I lost it as a dad. Oh my God, I know, right? That's the sweetest little ceremony.
They have their little caps and gowns.
Oh my God. And Shannon Pope says, what do cannibals order at McDonald's? A kid meal. A kid meal.
Like a kid's meal. Get it?
Kids meal.
Get it? Because they eat people. You get it?
I get it.
Yeah.
And Paula Gray says, Daisy, does this mean you'll be in the Fort Worth area visiting colleges? Now we can finally go to lunch.
Actually, we're going to be in the Houston area. My daughter wants to see some of the Houston area colleges.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. But we definitely need to check out like TCU and stuff like that too. Because I love TCU. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now let's get to some things. I can't believe we're 15 minutes in and have not covered any news.
I know. Walz balls.
It's because you guys are so freaking generous. Thank you very much. First things first, I have a massive mea culpa to make, like a big fat mistake. I own it. I would like to address
What
it.
did you do?
I made the biggest mistake ever, but I don't regret it because if it spurred anybody to action, then I'm going to be okay with it. But what I did was I apparently suffered from temporary dyslexia when I read that post from Scott Pressler forever ago that said 13% of attendees of Trump's rallies are not registered voters. That's how I read it. Or that's not how I read it. I read it as only 13% were registered voters at the rallies. And so he was busying himself trying to get people registered. I read it completely wrong. And so it is 13% of Trump rally goers who are not registered. So I messed that up big time, owning it. But also my message remains the same. And that is, everybody that attends a rally better be registered to freaking vote.
Yeah.
And even if you're not a rally goer, you register to vote. Come on.
I mean, you think a rally goer would be registered. So, I mean, 100% of these people should be registered to vote. That just seems absurd. Like, if you're taking time to go to a rally, you should be registered to freaking vote. Because you're plugged in politically. That just doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah. That's a concern. That's a concern.
But I really messed that up. So I'm relieved in many ways, right, that I messed it up that hard.
Yeah.
But also it still is a thing, and we are still going to tell you constantly to make sure to register to vote and then actually vote.
13% is too high.
It's too high.
It's too damn high. Yeah.
I do actually have a joke for Dad Joke Wednesday, and it is this. My son has been eating electrical cords. What do? Ground him until he conducts himself properly.
That is, my husband would love that because he's an electrical engineer by trade. He would be like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Where's my protractor? Whatever it is they use. I don't even know.
I do love that so much.
Total dad electrical engineer joke.
Because we're Gen Xers, and I know we have a lot of Gen Xers in our audience. I liked this too. So this just
I love this.
How Gen Xers are brutal. Am I fat? This is how various generations answer the question. Boomers say, you could lose a few pounds. Millennials say, no, you're beautiful. Gen Z says, we don't body shame. Of course you're not. And Gen X, I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them.
So true. So true. The best.
It's so true. I love our generation. I absolutely love it.
Gen X rocks.
All right. So the news of today is mostly going to be about Tim Walz, who is the VP pick for Kamala, and who mostly Republicans were relieved, I think, to hear that he was the pick over Josh Shapiro, which most Republicans were really worried about because Josh is very charismatic, popular. He's in a swing state that's desperately needed for Kamala to win. And so there was a lot of reason to think that she might pick him. But of course she didn't, because of the whole Jew thing that complicated things. I mean,
why would they pick a Jew? They don't like Jews.
And they made that clear with their pick of Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. So here, we're going to just know, I told this to Daisy before the show, I did not do a very good job putting things together this morning, you guys. I tried, but there was just a lot.
I think you're being a lot. You're being way too hard on yourself. Just stop.
Okay. All right.
Well, just don't worry about it. Nobody cares.
Things seem out of order. It's because they are.
Whatever.
But the goal as we go through today's show is to talk about this decision and the impacts of it in chronological order, sort of as people were reacting to the news, as the news broke. That's how I tried to organize things. So just so you have an awareness of how I tried to do things. So this was Kamala's announcement. She tweeted it first. Okay. And so then people were like, wait, Tim Walz is only 60?
Can you believe that? He looks 75, you guys. I'm like, he has got to be lying about his age. Look at him. Is that what communism does? It makes you look older?
I don't know what is going on, but I thought communist. Like he's 5 years older than me. And I feel like he looks like he could be my dad.
Right. Exactly.
I just can't process this, you guys. I'm having trouble. I'm having a little trouble with it too. He just looks so freaking old. Yeah, he really does. Donald Trump's immediate reaction to the news was to say, thank you. So he was relieved. But I do think, especially we'll have some clips from the rally and all that, because he was introduced with Kamala yesterday at their rally in Pennsylvania. And I do think it's a danger, not just for Trump, but for all of us to feel like, oh, this was like a dumb pick and they're not going to be formidable. I think they are, and they continue to be really, really likely to do very well in this election, and it's up to us to make sure that they do not win.
Well, all you have to do is just go to his social. You go to like his Instagram page and just look at all the people fawning all over him. Like there are a lot of young people who are like, I wasn't excited and now I'm totally excited. You know, he cares about young people. He cares about the working class. I mean, this is the thing, because a lot of people in this country are super jazzed about socialism, you guys. Make no mistake. They love it.
And he's got the media on his side. I mean, that's the biggest play that they've got media protection. And man, is that protection tight.
Yep.
So here's some reaction just from the Twitter sphere. AG said the last time Harris and Walz teamed up was when he allowed rioters to burn down half of Minneapolis, and then she raised the money to bail them out.
Yep.
Which is a great point. Ben Shapiro had a lot to say. He said picking Walz is a massive gift to the Republicans. He's a radical leftist from a non-swing state with a long history of insane statements who presided over the burning down of his state in 2020. Kamala picked him because he's not a Jew and she's too online. So again, I think it's very easy to be overconfident, and I don't think that that's a good idea. But he goes on, as someone who wants Kamala to lose, picking Walz is wonderful. It's political malpractice. Why? Not from a swing state. He's radical, underscoring her radicalism, and she rejected Shapiro to please the pro-Hamas caucus. She is not competent, and this pick shows it. I don't know that it does.
I mean, I think it definitely shows her incompetence, but they're going against his point. There are stupid people out there that are still going to be willing to vote for these absolute morons.
Totally.
And they're anti-Semitic and they're socialists. I mean, these people are commies, but there are so many people who are willing to invite that into America. We've seen it over the past, we've seen it over the past 15 years.
They forget so easily what 2020 was like.
Totally.
Let's see. Eli Klein actually said, I think New York is now in play for Trump. This was amazing. New York Jews know exactly why Harris didn't pick Shapiro and have had enough of this crazy rise of progressive anti-Semitism. There are almost 2 million Jews here in New York. I'm sorry, but that's not enough to flip a state. It's just not. I think Jews are coming around. I think there's some recent polling that shows that to be the case, specifically in New York, but it is not going to turn that state red.
Because there are 2 million Jews in New York doesn't mean that they're Republican.
Exactly.
A lot of those Jews are still like, I'm Democrat no matter what. Well, you're dumb.
Batya Ungar Sargon said the Babylon Bee got it right. VP Harris has chosen Tim Walz as a running mate. It is a dark day for American Jews. There was only one reason to have passed over Shapiro. The Democrats would rather lose with anti-Semitic progressives than win with moderate normies.
Yeah. I mean, but see, the thing is, Josh Shapiro, he's blind about it too. He probably thinks, oh, well, I mean, this is a great pick. I'm going to support them. Meanwhile, he has no self-awareness that that's why they passed him over, is because he is, in fact, a Jew.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to say, well, I mean, I just didn't really want it. I just really want to stay being governor and super supportive of this ticket. Governor DeSantis said it's the most left-wing ticket in American history. Minnesota was ground zero for the BLM riots. Harris egged it on, and Walz sat by and let Minneapolis burn.
It is. He is absolutely 110% correct. It is the most left-wing ticket ever in the history of ever. So, I mean, vote accordingly.
I know. I just hope that the sheep actually pay attention to policies. Right now, they're shielded from it because they're not having to talk about any. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, look at, he's a folksy guy. And she's so joyful.
She's black and has lady parts. So that's why we're going to vote for it. There's absolutely nothing on policy. You're right. Nothing at all. And we may not have time to even have a discussion about that. I mean, I guess there's going to be a couple debates. Maybe. Are we guaranteed that? I don't know. I really want to see JD Vance take this guy down.
Well,
gonna be so great.
their team is acting like they can't wait for a debate with JD Vance. Apparently, one of the like side notes when Kamala was interviewing Tim Walz about being the VP nom, he made a confession to her, which is that he doesn't know how to use teleprompters. And he always speaks extemporaneously, just off the cuff. And so he would have to be taught that. That's apparently like one of the downsides. And so people are super excited on their side for there to be a debate because they think because of that, he'll be great. They have not seen JD. JD will hold his own. I mean,
oh my God, he will. I have no
God.
doubt that he will. Yeah. Plus, this guy. He is a well-spoken, good guy, Marine. He will tear him up. It's like the good guy versus the commie. Who's gonna win? The Marine versus the commie? Who's gonna win? Who do you want to see win? This is America, man. I have no. Get out if you're a commie. Get out. I seriously, I want no part of that. Do you guys? And he just like openly admits that he loves socialism. It's fantastic, right?
And we've played that clip before, but I thought just like you, I mean, it's worth a repeat. So when we get to some of his past, we'll definitely be highlighting that again. Hey, we've talked to you guys about Aura before and keeping your information safe online because there's so many bad people out there who want to hack into your private information, use it to enrich themselves. And the problem is that they also do it with kids. And so you may not, you know, when you think of like identity protection and keeping your information safe, it's really easy to forget that your kids also have an online presence. They also have social security numbers, and those can be stolen and used. And so in fact, there was a recent Senate vote on like just child online safety. And this was, you know, it was almost unanimous vote in favor of companies that are online taking reasonable measures to prevent harm on platforms used by minors, making sure that there's the safest settings possible. And Aura not only helps protect your own information, you and your spouses, for example, but your entire families. And so they do offer family plans, and it's a great idea to check it out. If you want to have your information secure and know that it's secure, this is what will give you peace of mind. And you can check it out, get a 14-day free trial on that family plan by just going to aura.com/chicks, aura.com/chicks. And you can try it for free. You'll immediately see how much, if any, of your private information has already been sold online in the dark web and elsewhere. So check it out, aura.com/chicks. Try it for free for 2 whole weeks. Okay, so I was showing Tom Cotton's first tweet. He had a couple of tweets about this, obviously echoing everything that's already been said. And he said, let's be clear, Kamala did not cave to the anti-Semitic pro-Hamas wing of the Democratic Party. She belongs to that wing of the Democratic Party.
Totally part of it. She loves it. She's like the head of the sorority.
She's the head of the snake, if you will. Michele Tafoya, our friend whose show we've been on a couple times and who's been on our show, she used to live in Minnesota and tweeted that she'd lived there since 1994. She lives there now. It's gone from being one of the safest, prettiest places in the United States under Tim Walz, one of the saddest. Police morale plummeted. More people have left than moved in. He is an excellent liar. He let our cities burn, has lost over $500 million taxpayer dollars in the last 4 years to scandals, blamed the spread of COVID on youth sports. I could go on and on. The country will clearly have a choice between leftism and freedom.
Yep. That's absolutely true. Leftism and freedom is what's on the ballot. Yeah. And somebody said, I love the comment. I'm sorry I didn't get the name, but somebody said it's going to be like Rocky IV when you have JD Vance and this guy in a ring together, which is true. I absolutely agree with that.
Well, and what's crazy is that they are the Harris-Walz campaign now is running on a freedom platform. That's what they are using. And there's so many examples of how they do everything against freedom that I can't believe that they're trying to use that.
I can because that they're the high priestesses, as you would say, of gaslighting. This is what they do. They project. So what they accuse us of is what they actually do. And they're taking freedoms away from people. That's what the Democrats are all about. That's what socialism is, right? I mean, it's like they just want more and more government control of you and your families. That's what they want. We're about limited government. That's what conservatives are all about. And so they're the antithesis of that, but yet they preach freedom. It's a bunch of bullshit, and we all know
it is, but it works.
Right.
Like the message works. Like if we'll have some clips from the rally last night. I mean, these people just lap it up, and I'm like,
they do.
They're lying to you.
They're low foes, man. That's the thing. They are just low information people, and they lap it up. They're just stupid.
There was a long statement that we won't read the whole thing, but there was a long statement from the Obamas talking about how he values integrity, makes us proud,
really?
he works to serve
integrity. Blah, blah. Right. He's putting tampons in, boys' bathroom. That's such a lot of integrity there.
So of course they weighed in. Tim Walz, by the way, here he is in a picture smiling as he signed a law that provided driver's license for illegals in Minnesota. And he wants that to be true across the country. And it will be true if they win. So this is just one more
integrity.
Woo! Megyn Kelly, Tim Walz signed a bill that lets the state take away your kids if you do not agree to sterilize them and chop off their body parts in the name of gender affirming care. So if your 14-year-old is sad but thinks it's gender confusion and you object to castrating him, the state takes custody.
Again, integrity. Yeah, and freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Charlie Kirk had a laundry list of stuff about Tim Walz, which was really, really helpful. He broke it down, all the stuff that we've already covered so far about the riots. There's so much goodness. So if you don't follow Charlie Kirk on Twitter, you're missing some really good information about how awful Tim Walz is. We'll have more on those things in just a second. Eric Erickson, there's the huge story about the stolen Valor. To me, that's one of the most egregious things that he's done. And he mentioned it in the rally again last night, that he's the highest ranked non-commissioned officer to ever serve in Congress. He did not retain that command master sergeant title. They stripped him of it because he didn't do the requirements to actually fulfill the requirements for it. And then they reduced his rank. And so the fact that he's using that and that he decided not to go to Iraq, even though he was the command master sergeant of his troop, is insane to me.
So wait,
people are coming out and they're saying this guy is the worst coward of them all.
Right. So let me get this straight. So he wanted the benefits of being in the military.
He still does. He still wants to be able to claim that he was the highest ranked. Yeah.
And he wants the financial benefits and the other benefits you get of being in the military, but didn't actually want to go fight and do the thing.
Exactly.
He's a complete pansy, this guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
well, that's great.
And there's people who are like, he served, 20 something years compared to JD Vance only serving 4. JD Vance freaking served in combat.
Right.
Active duty, not National Guard, active duty in combat. This guy wussed out so he could run for office.
Yeah.
I'll take JD Vance any day.
He's an absolute piece of crap, this guy.
Oh my God.
He's a piece of crap.
People are going after Joey Jones and others saying, but what about wait till you find out Donald Trump lied about a make-believe medical condition so we wouldn't have to go fight in Vietnam. And Joey responded and said, I make no excuses for anyone who dodged the draft for Vietnam. Trump is anything but perfect. However, as someone who's worn the uniform, fought the wars, and spilled the blood, the level of disgust I have for a career soldier who quit on his troops to avoid deployment is 100-fold than someone who never took the oath to begin with.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That was such an important point that you made.
It's like, let me use you for something and step all over you. And then when actually push comes to shove and my feet are held to the fire. Oh no, I'm sorry. My feet don't like the fire. I got to go. Bye.
Wait, I have to fight? I don't
Oh my God. I have to do that. I actually have to be a man and do this and fulfill my responsibility. Yeah, you do. You pansy. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Commie, total commie.
Total commie. And then Bill Malhusian talked about the Harris-Walz positions on the border. Harris wants to decriminalize illegal immigration, as you know, abolish ICE, which she compared to the KKK. She wants Medicare for all illegals And she is one of the people who pushed that false whipping narrative with the Border Patrol and the horses, comparing it to slavery. Walz also wants free college and healthcare expansion for illegals. He signed a law to allow them to get driver's license and said he'd invest in a ladder company to defeat Trump's border wall. So that's where they stand on border issues.
She also believed Jussie Smollett, you guys. Let's just get real. Remember?
That's true.
Push that whole narrative.
True.
Yeah.
And that's nothing to mention, that he also got a DUI back in the 90s. And he tried to get out of that DUI by claiming he was deaf from his time in service.
So he used the service for that too.
I mean, he is vile.
Oh my God, this guy. What a piece of crap. Look at him in that picture too. He looks like a complete scumbag.
And I think this means that he wouldn't actually, he's not allowed to get clearance. And so he's going to be the vice president of the United States, potentially having his hands on all kinds of the most top secret information. He can't even qualify for a clearance. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. I just, and people will be like, oh, he's just, look at him. He's so honorable. He's just so honorable because he served. No, he didn't. God. Unbelievable.
You guys, I can't with Ted Lieu. Like,
what is he doing? Why is he trying to be 16 years old? This guy is talk about weird and creepy. Ted Lieu is weird and creepy. Why is he doing this? It's like somebody needs to tell him, stop it. Just stop. Does he have any friends? He needs friends that just will sit him down and tell him to stop with this.
Here's Walz's family. He's using his kids as examples of IVF, products of IVF, somehow to try to go against JD Vance, who isn't even against IVF, which is a weird flex, but okay. A lot of people are comparing his wife to Hillary Clinton, which I can kind of see it. And about this family and about Tim Walz in particular, the media has definitely received their marching orders and talking points. One of those talking points is to make sure to say that he has a folksy demeanor. You're going to see that in a lot of press conferences, press releases. You're going to see it in a lot of news shows. You're going to see it in a lot of press publications.
What does that mean?
He's just one of those guys that you want to have a beer with. He's folksy.
Is that what that means? I don't even, what does folksy demeanor even mean? What does that mean to you guys? I want to know. Like, tell me in the comments. What the hell does that mean? Folksy demeanor.
It's got all kinds of synonyms also, which you will start to hear. In fact, I think I heard affable, friendly, like all of these different synonyms that are going to try to paint him as not a war dodging asshat.
Yeah, because I live in the country. Am I supposed to feel like he's one of me? Like is that what folksy is? Like he's like Little House on the Prairie? What is he?
He's a good old boy.
Oh, he's not. I mean, I'm like, in no way do I feel connected to that guy. In no way.
Well, these are the talking points, and you will start to hear them. George Snuffleupagus could barely contain his excitement when this pick was announced and when he started to, see him out and about making appearances. Like, he is positively gleeful, you guys. Listen to this report about how it all went down.
Selena, Walz appears to fit the all-American definition of a man from middle America.
Really?
High school teacher, football coach, member of the Army National Guard, before becoming a member of Congress and now governor.
Exactly. He really has that perfect backstory. He also has those rural roots, and he's really emerged as the dark horse in this Veep Stakes race. He has emerged as the favorite very recently, as he has been on the cables, on the network, showing that he can effectively push back on those Republican attacks. He's the one, George, remember, who labeled JD Vance and his Republican allies as, quote, weird, which gained a lot of steam with the Harris campaign. He has this folksy, personal, informal vibe that has really appealed to a lot of Democrats, and they believe that his rural backstory, the fact that he was a former member of the NRA, as you say, he is this former high school teacher, he was a football coach, that this can help appeal to those independent swing state voters. But it is unprecedented, George, how all of this has played out. I was told that as of last night, according to sources, Vice President Harris still had not made her decision and that her team was printing out signs with multiple different candidates on it, ready to go at any moment. This decision coming down to the wire. Her and her close team had been keeping this decision under lock and key. They wanted to avoid any leaks.
So folksy.
And you know what's weird? Like, is it just me, or like when now they're together, right? Like now they're a ticket, and they have to pretend like they've known each other their whole lives. They're super tight. They know each other well now. They barely know each other.
Yeah.
And she has to entrust this guy to help her potentially lead the country. And that just feels so weird to me.
Well, I mean,
that's how those decisions are made.
Joe and Kamala did it too.
Yeah,
remember,
that's what I'm saying.
She called him racist when they were running against each other. They freaking hated each other. And then they had to come together, and she was like, oh yeah, I love him. We did it, Joe. I love you. I've loved you for years. No, you don't. You freaking hate each other. And so these
you barely know, they don't know each other at all.
No, because they're all a bunch of liars, Mock. They're all pathetic liars. This guy's a liar too. He's like a draft dodger. This guy
he's a war dodger. I mean,
well, a war.
That's worse.
But essentially, you know what I'm saying? That's just a figure of speech. But I mean, that's essentially what he is. He's a war dodger. And he's a liar, this guy. And he's a socialist, which is all you need to know. I'm sorry. I just have no time for that. When people are like touting the merit of socialism in America, it's not benevolent. It never is.
It is not. Caching Cadre says, today is my new heart day. 1 year ago since I survived my heart attack and had my surgery, still kicking and enjoying life with you ladies this morning.
That's
oh my gosh,
awesome. Good for you. You know what else I'd like to hear? I'd like to hear from some of the football players that have played football under him since he was a football coach.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what they think about him.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll probably say he's folksy.
I doubt that they would say that.
Leah Shalek says, Walz is the same age as me and looks like he could be my dad. Okay, uncle, who's younger than my dad. I know, right? Like, it's crazy how old he looks. Joseph Groshek says, as a veteran, Tim Walz is a disgusting human for leaving his unit early to avoid a deployment to Iraq.
Gross.
You said it. And thank you for your service. Nicole White says, Minnesota girl here. Walz is the worst governor ever. They picked him because they were losing Minnesota. Turn Minnesota red. Oh my gosh. From your lips to God's ears. Because
let's hope.
The photo in the story says, I'm a New Yorker and supported Lee Zeldin, a Jew, in 2022. He came within 5 points, but many religious Jews voted for Hochul. New York is not in play. I wish it were, but I think you're right. Jody Patterson, thank you very much. Susan Flythe says, balls to the walls is my new rally cry. I hope that's like
I think it should be, you should do hashtag no balls walls.
No balls. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Tina Kramer says, Dad Joke Wednesday, why did Waldo go to therapy? Because he needed to find himself.
I like that one.
It's a good one. Elizabeth Etter says, I joined a carpenter's class the other day. We haven't made anything yet because we've only just begun.
I get it.
My debate night fiance asked me to send this to you all.
That was great.
Jody Patterson says, from chin balls to Tim Walz. Yuck. You said it. You said it. And Wendy Henderson says, do you think snakes look at lizards and say, Lieutenant Dan?
Oh my God. It's the delivery. It's Mock's delivery always.
Osuki says, everyone makes mistakes. My husband said that's why they make erasers. Because remember how I messed up the Scott Pressler thing? Thank you, Suki. Audrey Krause says, as a 1964 birthday girl, damn, Tim Walz, he cannot be my age.
I know.
I know.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Math Nerd Knitter says, folksy is the coastal elite's derogatory definition for people who live in the real America.
And he doesn't. He does not live there at all.
He may have used to back in his rural college his rural teaching and coaching days, but he's too far gone at this point. Way too far gone. Van Jones, who obviously we disagree with a whole bunch of the time, is probably one of the most honest Democrats. He's wrong a lot, but he believes what he believes honestly, and he can honestly criticize the his own side, which he does about this pick to Jim Acosta.
Listen, the conservatives, the right wing, the Republicans, they were chewing their fingernails down to the knuckle because they were afraid of a Josh Shapiro. They were afraid of a Mark Kelly. They're not as afraid of this new governor because they think they can define him. So here's the challenge you've got in this party. And people don't want to talk about it. We got to talk about it. On the one hand, you have a lot of young people who are concerned about Gaza. You have a lot of Muslims and Arabs and others. They have not felt seen by the Biden administration. You start hearing that genocide joke. That was building. And so those folks needed to have a candidate that they could feel comfortable with. This helps them in that regard. But you also have anti-Semitism that has gotten marbled into this party.
Yeah, it's marbled right in there.
It's marbled in there. Yeah, it's like it's solidified. Yeah,
it's baked.
It's all baked up in there. Yeah, it's you're not escaping it now. You guys are the party of anti-Semitism. Own it. That's it. You're done. Put a fork in it. It's cooked.
I forgot happily until this morning that Katie Hobbs exists as a person.
God, we have to look at her
and listen to her. It's the listening that's the worst part. But she was asked, what exactly does Tim Walz bring to the table? And her answer was, well, I mean, he's a runner and he coached.
Oh my gosh, you should have been at my house and heard my scream when I saw the news this morning. I'm absolutely thrilled that Vice President Harris has chosen him to be her running mate. I had the chance to work with him directly on many issues and have seen firsthand his dedication to the American people. And I know the governors know what it takes to deliver for their states, and I am confident that Governor Walz and Vice President Harris will deliver for Arizonans.
But what does he bring to the ticket? I mean, Mark Kelly at least helps with the border.
Tell us, Katie.
Josh Shapiro helps with a state that has a lot of electoral votes. This is a guy who's a former high school teacher. Tell me what he brings to the ticket. Governor
Walz is America. I mean, he's, as you said, a former high school teacher, a football coach. He's a hunter. He's a runner. I mean, the vice president had a lot of great people to choose from, and so it was not an easy choice for her. And I think that Governor Walz, again, as a governor, he knows what it takes to deliver for people in his state, and he'll work with Vice President Harris to deliver for Arizonans.
She was struggling with that. She was on the struggle bus really hard. He's a runner. He runs places. He runs.
He's America. He is America.
It's like he's America, like Fauci is science. It is what it is. God, she's like a Pomeranian person. I can't with her.
She is a Pomeranian person.
She is. That's what she reminds me of. Nothing. Listen, if you got a Pomeranian, I apologize. I just am not a big fan. All right. I have big dogs. I'm sure they're sweet. Your Pomeranians are very sweet, but she is an actual Pomeranian person.
And you know how you know that's true? Because she says think. I think. You know what I mean? Who talks like that?
Katie Hobbs does. She talks like that. She talks like she talks. She's just not a real person. I can't believe it.
Speaking of NPCs, non-person characters,
right?
There is no one weirder and more psychotic. And in fact, I saw this on his Twitter machine. Jamaal Bowman, who you know from such things as losing his primary and also being a squad member that has gone bye-bye. Remember how like right before his primary vote, he did that like outdoor rally with AOC and he was all roided out and terrifying and like screaming and cursing and like just acting like a complete lunatic. Yeah, we remember. Okay, well, it hasn't stopped. I mean, even though he lost, here was his reaction to Tim Walz.
It's Walz, baby. Let's go. High school teachers stand up. Public education stand up. Educators stand up. Young people stand up. Working class people stand up. It's Walz, baby. Let's go. Tim Walz in the building. Time to win in November, y'all. Let's go. All hands on deck. No staying at home. Let's go.
Is he okay?
He's not okay.
Somebody needs to check on him. Is he all right?
I don't think he's okay.
What is he going to do? What is he doing?
That's weird behavior.
That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing. He's just yelling.
He'll probably get hired as like a high school teacher somewhere.
Oh my God. But I mean, his fire alarm polling should be a disqualification.
It won't
honestly.
be. It won't be. He'll get hired as a high school football coach.
Oh my God.
Somewhere. Let's go.
Dolly Duck says most garden statues have red hats. It's a little gnome fact. And Pam Corpella says, Dad Joke Wednesday, what do you call someone who refuses to fart in public? It's a private tutor.
I love it. That's great.
Let's get into some of Tim Walz's record, shall we? He is known for making a change to the Minnesota state flag.
All right,
in
ready.
fact, there was a video right here. That's the new flag.
What the hell?
Which is eerily similar to the flag of Somalia.
There, that's better.
Just really, really similar. I mean, minus those two little green stars. It's just very.
What is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But he does love him some Ilhan. He loves her, man. Which, by the way, oh my gosh, this is an amazing point that if you are watching from Minnesota, on August 13th, that's when her primary is. And she's going to be going against this guy that she went against last time. And that guy came within 2,000 votes of her last time. That's how close we were of getting rid of her.
Yeah.
So if it's an open primary, which means if you're Republican, if you're independent, you can still go vote in it, and you should.
Yeah.
Like, get her out of there.
Really should. She's like, that's super inconvenient. And so we got to get her out. It's probably not going to happen, but it would be blissful.
Oh my gosh, to get rid of
if we
three
could
in
get
one
this
election.
broad out of there. She's just the absolute worst.
They just need 10,000 votes.
Yeah.
That's it.
It would just be
get
so
her
great
gone.
if we
Oh my
could get her
God.
out of there. You know, her brother would be so upset about that.
But the fact that Tim Walz likes her at all is gross. And he really, really likes her.
It's an indication of who this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a guy who posted this on Twitter, his own Twitter in 2020. I laid flowers at George Floyd's memorial this morning. As a former high school history teacher, I looked up at the mural of his face painted above and reflected on what his death will mean for future generations. The guy was a criminal.
Can you imagine his classroom? He taught history to kids. Could you imagine having your kid in his classroom? Oh my God. And we wonder why kids are dumb and they hate America. We wonder.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of people like him.
And he was one of the people that was writing on the sidewalk at this memorial when it first got put up or whatever. There's video of him writing justice something or other. I think you'll see it in the video here. Right here.
Does he have a mask
Justice
on?
now.
He has his mask on.
Oh my God.
No, he doesn't have a mask on. Or he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And during the riots, I mean, during all the hullabaloo where it took him forever to get the National Guard mobilized, he let his city burn. He then afterwards started talking about how optimistic he is and how the change is going to be transformational.
A society that does not put equity and inclusion at the center of it is certainly going to eventually come to the places where we're at. This is a moment of inflection. It's a moment of real change. It's a moment that those folks who are out there demanding this are not going to take a commission or a report. They're going to want fundamental change. And that is what I think, that's one of the exciting things in the midst of all this. You can feel a sense of optimism coming back.
Oh my God. It was exciting. It was exciting for him to see everything burn. Was that exciting for him? Wow. Did he get his jollies over that?
I'm so glad that that is your segue, because his wife, Gwen, did get her jollies off of it. In fact, this is also super weird. I know that that's their term that they like to use against JD Vance inexplicably. This right here is her reacting to the riots and what she did in the midst of them.
I would say those first days, you know, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could, because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
The hell is wrong with this chick?
I mean, oh my
God. Yeah, but that's not weird. That's not weird at all, you guys.
I'm going to inhale tire fumes because this is a touchstone moment, a touch point moment. What the? I don't even. That's
or your husband could do his job and handle it.
Which he did not.
No,
he did not. And then, in fact, his daughter, who is no longer who left Twitter, I guess, after this, during all of the riots, she was basically telling the rioters, "Don't worry, the National Guard isn't going to be deployed by my dad. So just, you know, keep on burning your buildings." Because she was posting, they can't just get mobilized within minutes. It takes time for them to mobilize, and so she's signaling to all the people that they have nothing to fear, that they can keep doing what they're doing. Like, this is freaking crazy.
Yeah, because they wanted it to happen. He wanted it to burn.
God, I
mean,
mean,
gross. It's just
gross. A sick family.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of Gwen, the wife, she also has been known to say about criminals that they deserve endless chances, and that, you know, if they need to get back out on the street, they need another chance to prove that they're not going to commit crimes again. This is insane mentality. But here she is on video saying exactly that.
And having a chance every day. Like, how many chances do you get? My answer to that is as many chances as you need.
Oh my God.
Which doesn't really please those law and order people.
Those law and order people.
Yeah, we're law and order people. Okay, so I mean, how would she feel if this is the thing? This is somebody speaking from a place where she's exempt from crime. She's exempt from all this because she can sit in her mansion and just like smell the burning tires. But the people they're not looting and burning her mansion.
Right.
No one's coming to kill somebody in her family. No one's raping her daughter, Hope, right? No one's doing that to her. So she's exempt from it so they can get all the chances. You know, I mean, this is the thing. This is elitism at its finest.
Yep.
These people are gross. And this is socialism, because socialists, when they're elite, they're exempt from all the shit, you know, that we have to deal with. These people disgust me.
They should. And then don't forget about his lieutenant governor. It's Peggy Flanagan. And she had a viral video that we played, I know, a few months back, because she was talking about kids and gender affirming care. And what she said was so profoundly idiotic that it has to be replayed, just so that you guys will remember.
Because let's be clear. This is life affirming and life saving healthcare.
Oh my God.
When our children tell us who they are, it is our job as grown-ups to listen and to believe them.
Oh my God.
Freaking whack job this woman is.
That's what it means to be a good parent.
No, that's not what it means.
So when they tell you, I'm a dragon, it's your job.
Turn them into a dragon.
Them.
Yeah, you got to turn them into a dragon, y'all. Otherwise, you're not a good parent, apparently, according to this whack job. Yeah, disfigure your kids, mutilate your kids, or you're not a good parent. This is the left. This is liberalism. It's a freaking mental disorder. It is.
Totally. Also, here's a voter, I guess a longtime Democrat voter, who wanted to share his opinion of Walz.
He used to be what I'd call a middle-of-the-road Democrat. Now he's a straight-up socialist.
Yep.
And we have the reminder right here.
We can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Oh my God. Oh my
God.
That clip says it all.
Mm-hmm. And this clip too says it all, because he also is, like you said, a total elitist, and elitists have complete disdain for middle America. So they're going to try to paint him as this rural, folksy, regular Joe Schmo from middle America. Here's what he actually said about red states.
You see those maps, red and blue, and there's all that red across there, and Democrats go into depression over it. It's mostly rocks and cows that are in that red area.
It's mostly rocks and cows.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks about middle America.
I must be a rock then amongst my cows. You know what I mean? This guy, listen, and he may have started, like that guy said, he may have started out being more middle of the road, but kind of like what you and I talked about yesterday, they get in there and then he gets greedy and he's like, I'm a socialist now. I'm a freaking commie. You know why? Because being a commie pays.
Yep.
And I'm in it. I'm in the swamp now, and I'm here to stay, and I'm not effing going anywhere. and he is full blown commie, and it's like he's not giving up his spot, and he is power hungry, and you can see it. The guy's like frothing at the mouth. He's a disgrace. It's just gross.
He's just an awful, awful person. JD Vance, shortly after the pick was announced, he was on a plane and talked to reporters about his impressions of Walz, but then also went after the press for not making Kamala answer questions. So I will just let both of these clips run together.
This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy, and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies. I think that you guys have got to do a better job at actually forcing Kamala Harris to answer questions. This is a person who's been the presumptive Democrat nominee for 16 days. She hasn't taken a single real question from a reporter. The American people deserve to get to know the people who want to lead them. And I think it's shameful for Kamala Harris, but increasingly for the media, that she's taking a basement strategy of running from reporters instead of getting in front of them, answering tough questions about her record, and letting the American people know who she is. President Trump and I take hostile questions, we take non-hostile questions, we get out there and talk to people because we respect the American people enough to want to persuade them and not to try to run from them. So I think you guys got to do a better job. That's my humble opinion. Take it easy, guys.
Hi. I love that.
I think he's going to do great in a debate, because I think that Walz is going to come off as unhinged, because he will be unscripted, and he's going to attack Vance like crazy. He's just going to come in swinging, and he's going to look like the unhinged one. He's going to look like that. I'm attacking this younger guy, and I look like I'm 80 years old, and I'm the crazy commie. And Vance is going to be collected and very,
steady.
Yeah, very steady. And he's going to be like, you're a complete effing lunatic. And here's why. And he's going to do great. I mean, I have no doubt that he's going to do great.
I hope it happens, because again, this campaign seems like a hiding campaign. It's like what they do. They spew a bunch of lies and then run and hide, and no one holds them to account in the media.
Yeah.
No one.
And then they say our side is a bunch of cowards.
It's insane. Our side is out there constantly.
They do all the, like you just saw, they do all the interviews, all the impromptu stuff. Trump went on the stage with the black journalists. I mean, they are at everything. And then the other side has the audacity to point fingers at us and say we're cowards. Bite me.
Let's see. Who did I forget? Dolly Duck says, okay, my conspiracy theorist hat is on. What if Kamala's choice of Walz was to appease BLM after they're voicing their displeasure at Kamala being installed? It's an interesting question, because I haven't looked to see what BLM is tweeting now about this pick, or if it does help them. That'll be something I'll have to check on, because I genuinely do not know.
The bottom line is they're installed.
They're installed. And that's what BLM's problem was. So this doesn't help that.
I don't
It doesn't change that.
No, I'm sure they love the fact that he's a Marxist because they're Marxists too.
But so is Kamala, and that didn't help them,
No, they just hate the fact, which is weird to me. They just hate the fact that she was installed, which also is weird because they're Marxists.
Right. Yeah. Connie Cannell, thank you. She says, my daughter and granddaughter were in accidents with illegals. One was a hit and run. Thank God for cameras in the parking lot. Have a good weekend. I tell everyone about you, and my hubby listens too. Thank you.
Very sweet.
Thank you, ICU Brat, for the super sticker. And Connie says both the kids live in Minnesota. Interesting. Erin Powers, thank you. She says, my boss hates when I shorten his name to Dick, especially because his name is Steve. Take my money.
That's fantastic.
John Baldwin says, I live in Minnesota and Walz has been the worst governor ever. We indeed had a $17+ billion surplus and he still needed to raise taxes. Wouldn't give our money back. Be glad that you don't live here. I am glad because I could not deal with your winter.
What?
I don't know how you do that.
I know. Winters alone, but God, what a nightmare economically.
But again, if you're out in Minnesota in that area where you can vote in a primary, get Ilhan out. I know her district is very specific, but to the extent that you can, do what you can. Andrew Huff says, wasn't that same memorial that God responded, he ain't no hero, when it was struck by lightning? I don't know. I don't know if that was the same or not.
I don't know.
Navneet Chowdhury, I think I'm saying that right, says, if the global left can come together, can't the right? I mean,
it'd be nice.
It would be great, wouldn't it? Like you see little pockets of togetherness, but it's not as organized. We're not as organized as
I don't even know if it's about the organization. We're so independent thinking. Everybody's so like, I can do this on my own. I'm like, that's just how we are as people, as individuals. And so I just wish sometimes we would let that go a little bit and just band together more.
Yeah. Catherine Lazaretti says, I lived in LA during the Rodney King riots. The tire smoke was horrid. It was a horrible time, absolutely heartbreaking and traumatic. Teresa Raimundo says, Tim Walz in the building, maybe the fire alarm gets pulled. Andrea Violi says, LOL, now Americans are mad because they're open commies in government. Embrace it. Americans allowed it and tolerated it. I mean, it's true to some extent. We get the government we deserve, right? But like, God, this is so frustrating because it's not what our audience deserves. We have been fighting against this for 15
years. Yeah. We didn't want this. We didn't vote for this. So when you get it, it's like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve it. My kids don't deserve it because I didn't freaking vote for this. Yeah. So that's the thing that's really frustrating.
Michelle Archer says, take them in, Gwen. Who's going to protect you? Disgusting. We need Jesus. And Laura Kate Baker says, gender affirming care is such crap. It pisses me off. And it should. It absolutely
I hate that they call it that.
I know. It's ridiculous.
It is. It's like
child mutilation. And
right. It's like when they give other names to abortion to make it sound better. It's more palatable. Like, shut up. It is what it is.
We know what you're doing.
Right. Just quit trying to make it sound better. Yeah.
Osuki says, I'll be a rock like the one that David flung at Goliath's head. All right, we need to get to some other things because as is typical from the Kamala campaign, you guys remember when the Obamas called her to give her their endorsement and how utterly fake and stupid it was. The fake and stupid is just part of their campaign strategy. And so here is Kamala offering the job to Tim Walz.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President. The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it would be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this. We're going to win. And we're going to unify our country and remind everyone that we are fighting for the future for everyone. So let's get out there and get this done, okay?
Let's do it. Do the work in front of us. Let's win this thing.
That's right. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy. It's like phony. Somebody just said, this is the shittiest movie I've ever seen. I want my money back.
But did you see how folksy he was?
He's like just sitting there in his living room. Actually,
right,
his back porch. His back porch, just in his like work clothes. He's gonna go out there and mow the lawn, you guys. Okay.
So that was bad enough, right? I did not realize that this fakery nonsense also takes place with vice president spouses. But Doug Emhoff also called Gwen as nauseating as you might expect.
Oh, God. He's going to try to kiss her, have an affair with her.
What a dumbass that guy is.
You want to go have drinks?
Yes. It's Doug Emhoff. How are you?
This is so stupid.
Right. So,
thank you for taking time to call. It's so considerate.
So, Gwen, I remember getting this call 4 years ago, and I actually know what you're going through right now, but the good news is I've already been through it. So just like Dr. Biden was there for me, who had been through it, and I've been through it, I'm going to be there for you. And we're going to do this together.
Thank you.
And we're going to make out. We're going to make out.
We're going to do this together, and we are going to win this election together. And I cannot wait to see you in Philadelphia in a little bit.
Well, we are so excited and thrilled and honored, and we are ready to win. And so we will do everything, that we can. And I'm so anxious to meet you and see you both and get going here. So thank you for the call. It means everything.
All right. Well, let's get to it. I can't wait, and we're gonna have a great time tonight. And we can do anything for 90 days, right?
I think we can.
All right.
We can. We'll see you soon.
I'll see you later, and I can't wait. Take care. Bye bye.
Can't wait, baby.
Awkward.
Can't wait. Let's get to it. Yeah. Let's get to it.
I'm just so awkward because now they basically have to live their lives together as a foursome for the next 90 days. And they just now are meeting each other.
Listen, and we know with Doug, we know what that foursome looks like. You know what I'm saying? Bada bing, everybody. Come on. You know it. You're thinking it too.
Why do they stage it like this? What is the point?
Because
we don't
they're
need
Democrats.
to see this. It's so stupid.
Because Democrats are phonies. It's all just it's all smoke and mirrors because they were put there. They were coronated. They were like, just all of this is fake. I mean, I literally got like as many votes as Kamala did. I did.
All of us
I did. All of you, everybody here in the comments did. Like she was put there. She was coronated. It's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It's all Hollywood. It's all just theatrical. That's all it is. And that's who they are as people. It's all theatrics, what we're watching. And all of this. And everybody's like, oh, this is so cute. Look, they're like BFFs, all four of them. Isn't that sweet? No, it's all lies. And if you buy into it, you have mental problems.
Audrey Krause says, fake phone call again. WTF, it is so dumb.
It is.
Brian Brumley says, even Hallmark makes better movies than this. And Seth McMillan says, Doug's name should be Jack. I don't get it.
Yeah, what is the Jack thing?
I don't get that. I don't understand what that means. Anastasia 63 says, Doug drips soy. Every pore of him is made of soy.
It's so gross. It's just...
Tamara Johnson says, I just threw up a little in my mouth. There goes my morning coffee. And Deb St. Pierre, thank you very much for that super sticker. So, you know how Tim Walz is the creator of the whole weird thing. Like he's the one that started saying weird and everybody followed suit. You have to recognize how ridiculous the world is when John Fetterman uses weird to talk about anybody else. Like we have reached peak insanity.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
That guy is calling other people weird.
When Lurch is doing it.
Exactly what happened at the rally last night.
The choice just could not be any more stark than this.
Dude.
You know, this election is about moving our country forward with Vice President Harris and Governor Walz, or a couple of really weird dudes.
Dude, stop. You are Herman.
He is calling other people weird.
You are Herman Munster, and all you wear is Carhartt sweatshirts. Like, stop it. Just stop.
What in the world? I mean, oh my God.
I know.
I cannot.
I know. It's again with the projection.
Right, exactly. Because this is what they found waiting outside to get into the rally is people like this.
Me about this getup. Well, I'm a childless cat lady that J.D. Vance wants to pick on and say that our lives don't matter and that we're miserable.
He didn't say that. That's not what he said.
True. I'm very happy. Remember her thing is I didn't fall out of a coconut tree?
As we were saying goodbye, she accidentally scratched me.
And that's not actually what he said.
No,
he did.
It was like 2-3 years ago.
Right.
None of this matters.
At no time did JD Vance say that your life did not matter. He didn't say that.
No, if anything, he said the exact opposite of that.
Right. So that's the thing. So if she's saying that about herself, she may want to go get help for that. Because that's something that and maybe for the whole mask and the cape and the
It's just weird. They're in good company, as you might expect. The Democrat Socialists of America are very, very excited about this pick.
Oh, yeah.
So that should not come as a surprise to anyone. And then this, again, I remember how I told you earlier that I have things out of order. This is an example of one of those things. So remember how earlier we talked about how Walz and Ilhan super tight? He actually gets like basically a shiver up his leg when he just thinks about Ilhan being in Congress. Here he is saying that.
When I'm having a tough day or I'm out on about mile 5 of my run and I'm feeling kind of down and the world's pressing on me, I think Ilhan Omar's a congresswoman, and it just brightens you up. So thank you.
Really? So he's like, who's the guy, Chris Matthews, that used to get all tingly-legged about Obama? Remember him? So he pulls a Chris Matthews with her. That's weird.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, that's weird. I think he's got the hots for her. Just putting that out there. I'm spreading the rumor. You guys can run with it.
Yeah, well, we got to talk about rumor spreading in just a little bit.
Okay.
Because that's also part of this show
and
today.
Also, Lynette, I agree with you. That dude does not run. He doesn't run. I agree. There's no way.
It does seem a little far-fetched that he's a runner.
Yeah, Katie. At no time has this guy, he has not run in the past year at least. Look at him. Lies.
Speaking of Fetterman, going back to Fetterman for just a second, again, everything is out of order. When Josh Shapiro, so Fetterman spoke before Josh Shapiro. And then when Josh Shapiro came out to speak, everybody kind of noticed that Fetterman did not stand. And it looks, I don't know what to make of this. You guys look and see, but everybody is on their feet when he comes out. And then there's these two. Like, shouldn't he be yay rah with the team?
For Shapiro?
Well, because they're both in Pennsylvania. Like, Shapiro's the governor. Like, shouldn't they all be like, woo?
Maybe
we're
he was
together on this.
Yeah, I don't really know what to read into that. You think that would, yeah, you're absolutely right. But that is very weird. Maybe he was
so bored and like unhappy in that moment.
Maybe he was just tired, from carrying around all of that lurchness. It's a lot to carry around, It's
a lot. It is a lot. That's true. Karen Elliott says Republicans need to be careful how they speak about the rioters. As much as it sucks, we have to make sure it's not spun as racist. I mean,
you know what? I say, sorry, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to not say things.
I think that we need to quit being so afraid to say things at all. I think that we have sat by and we've been like, oh my God, they're going to perceive this as racist or sexist or xenophobic. I don't give a crap what they think. And everybody needs to quit giving all the craps and say the things. They're going to call you racist and xenophobic and sexist anyway. So just say the things.
Yeah, we might as well get out the truth, right? I mean, because the truth is, most of the rioters, they were part of BLM, and so there's no getting around that.
It doesn't matter. It's like just say the truth about things, and then the chips will fall. It's like that's the problem with conservatives is everybody's so afraid. I think we're talking about that today at some point. Aren't we? Isn't there some? Don't we have a clip about somebody saying that they were afraid or like somebody was being brave for speaking or
yeah. You're right.
It's like and we're going to talk a little bit about that today, but like people need to be more forthright and like speaking out about being concerned. We've been saying that for 15 years. And that's part of the reason that we lose, you guys, is because everybody's so damn afraid.
Julie Wolf says 3 whites and an Asian Indian. Now that's a movie title. Jose Luis says Tim Walz just looks like Boss Hogg from Dukes of Howard.
I think he looks, you know, I think he looks like I think he looks like Rick Moranis, like kind
like
of
he's a combo of Boss Hogg and Rick Moranis.
Yeah, like Rick Moranis, not like less attractive than Rick Moranis. If you think Rick Moranis is attractive, like an older, less attractive Rick Moranis.
Okay, Jose. Jose says Doug Emhoff, Jack Emhoff. Come on, chicks. You're better than this. Morning from Texas. I mean, if you have the names side by side, then we get it.
We would have seen it. Come on, you got to work with us. It's really early in the morning. I've only had 1 cup of coffee. You got to work with me. That's so great.
Oh my gosh. And Seth McMillan was like, Jack Emhoff. Yeah.
Jack Emhoff. Yeah.
He was right there. We were behind.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys.
Take your coat off and jacket. Is that is that what it is? Take your pants off and jacket. Is that what it was? I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. So Josh Shapiro, speaking of Josh Shapiro, he did not get picked, obviously, but he was there to support, and he got so screamy, you guys. This was like his voice starts cracking like he's going through puberty. He is out of his mind with just high-pitchedness, and it's crazy. This sounds crazy and weird, for lack of a better word.
And are you ready to look the next President of the United States in the eye and say, hello, Madam President?
He's going to lose his voice.
I am too, so let's get to work.
I mean, calm down.
Yeah. I saw a video from him the other day where he's like, I wear the same thing all the time, which is like that blazer and the white shirt underneath it. Like that's his uniform. And, you know, kind of like what you said earlier, he is very charismatic. Like he loves the politicking.
Oh, he loves
being on a stage. He is very Obama-esque when it comes to that. He just loves working the crowd and like getting up there. And like he is in his element. And so we'll probably see more of him.
Oh, without doubt. Now, if we're lucky enough to win in November, I fully expect to see Josh Shapiro be a contender against like a DeSantis and whoever else is running on our side. And that'll be a tough race. It'll be tough.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Well, it depends on how much more. I don't know, because we've got to have a good 4 years, right? Like we've got to have a solid 4 years so that we will recognize. Okay, Republicans are the way to go.
Listen, if we win, we will have an exponentially better 4 years than what we've had in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah. Now, I thought at the beginning of Kamala's remarks that there must have been like a teleprompter malfunction or something, because I'm sorry, this is psycho. The way that she greeted the rally was so over the top and bizarre that I thought, okay, roll her speech, because she clearly doesn't have it and doesn't know what to say. And then, by the way, when the speech started, it was the same freaking speech. She has given the exact same speech at every rally. She does not change it up at all. The whole beginning part at all. It's the same. Every time.
Oh my God.
It's so obnoxious. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it wasn't rolling quickly enough, but this is what her opener sounded like. This is batshit.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. evening, everyone. Good evening.
Okay, we get it. Good evening.
So Philadelphia.
We get it. It's a good evening. Is it? I have one question for her though. Is the evening good? Is it?
I mean, that's
What
a lot of good evening.
The hell? She should have turned around. We did it, Tim. We did it.
I mean,
Oh my!
that was weird.
She's like a bottle. She is a bottle and a half in.
And then she talked about how, because this is another sort of refrain that they're using in their campaign, which is to say, we're not going back. And it begs the question, why wouldn't we want to? It was so much better before, you guys. So
Had the before times, you guys.
The before times were so much better. But this is what they want to use is we're not going back. The problem is that they're timing listening to their audience and getting them like all in sync on saying, we're not going back. We're not going back. They had a lot of trouble. They had a lot of trouble with that, as you'll see.
Yeah, I launched my campaign for the President of the United States a mere 2 weeks ago.
I just wanted to point out, she said she launched her campaign.
You were coronated. You were installed, okay, by a cabal, lady. You didn't launch anything.
Coup.
There was nothing was launched. we assure you.
All right, so here she is trying to get everybody to get coordinated.
We're not going back.
Look at Tim's like, I have no rhythm. I have no rhythm. I can't clap my hands. My name is Tim. I'm a communist. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I just love that. I love that, you guys.
He's like, I promise I'm 60. I'm 60.
And again, like, why would we not want to go back
Yeah,
to when
exactly.
we had a secure border, when everything was affordable, when everybody had prosperity, opportunity, national security, and world peace?
Well,
we had all of those things.
Well, because we're not careening off a cliff to socialism and the new world order. Can't you see? They're there, Blondie. They're there.
When Tim Walz got out to speak, he had the absolute audacity, as we already mentioned, to brag about how he was the highest ranked non-commissioned officer in the Congress, which we've already discussed. But he also had the balls, amazingly, to brag about letting people have freedom. This was extraordinary for reasons that you will soon see. But just watch this video right here.
Some of us are old enough to remember when it was Republicans who were talking about freedom. It turns out now what they meant was the government should be free to invade your doctor's office.
Holy shit, this guy.
It gets better.
I can't. We respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make.
Oh my God.
Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Are you joking with this? You got to be kidding me.
I am not joking.
Government. What? Oh, okay. I know what you're going to do.
So it's super rich that he said, mind your own business. You stay out of your neighbors' lives. He set up a freaking snitch hotline back in the days of the lockdown where neighbors could rat out each other.
I can't.
If you saw someone who wasn't wearing a mask or who was playing basketball in a park or walking your dog illegally under lockdown orders, there was a hotline for you to call and rat out your neighbors. And he's going to talk to us about freedom?
Yeah. This guy is a piece of work.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's like he is all about more government control. He's all about it. And they're trying so hard to make this guy moderate and make him middle of the road. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, everybody, they're all trying to make him so folksy and middle of the road. He's the antithesis of that. He wants to control every aspect. This guy wants to control every aspect of your life.
Yep. He does. And we actually have audio of that voicemail account. So here is what you would hear if you called that hotline to lodge your complaint against your neighbor.
Hello, you have reached the Department of Public Safety stay-at-home hotline. The information you leave is considered public information. At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how the stay-at-home order is being violated, and where the stay-at-home order was violated.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
And then they have the audacity to call us freaking Nazis. Are you joking with this?
He was one
God.
of the most lockdowners
in lockdown town.
In lockdown town.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And then the other thing that they're doing that he did specifically to show that he's like super online, he's super engaged and like in tune with what's going on in the Twitter sphere and the social media sphere. He picked up on the lie that went around because some rando idiot on Twitter decided to like fake a page out of Hillbilly Elegy, JD Vance's book, and make it look like JD wrote that he had sex with couches, that he like used latex gloves and had sex with couches. This is an actual story that went like wildfire because one person tweeted it and everybody glommed on. And then all the big news organizations had to fact check it and say, this actually did not happen. It's not a thing. That was fake. There's no page in his book that says anything of the sort.
Because
this is a lie.
If you believe, I mean, people, oh my God, they believed it. It's like, okay.
They believe it and they spread it. And Tim Walz knows it's a lie. And yet the Democrats are so freaking dishonest and they rely on dishonesty in order to get people to follow them.
Yeah.
That he decided to be, look at me, I'm going to lay out this joke and it's going to be such a zinger. And because the people that follow them are sheep, it was a zinger and people absolutely loved it. So again, it's totally not funny. It is not real.
Tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So
it's unreal.
I'm so clever. Oh my God, I'm so clever. Look at me go. Say a lie.
Yeah, it's
and
well, I mean,
believe it.
Right. Exactly. Well, once again, they have to cheat and lie to win.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they have to do.
Which is why I thought this was a good reminder. This is from a while back, but it's Nancy Pelosi explaining how smear campaigns work. She's very, very good at them. And she's always behind all of these things. And here she is explaining exactly how they do it.
Demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's like talking about it, you know. She and Obama are like the masterminds behind it. And they all have, and they have the media. They have like literally 99% of the media in their pocket. And so they do it. And the lemmings lap it up.
They lap it up.
Mm-hmm.
And the lies just keep on happening. And they are never held to account because reporters don't go after them. They just fawn over them and then never ask them direct questions. So there's a lot of tweets about that. This was the point I think that we made earlier too. You know, Vance has 4 years of combat duty. Like he actively served in combat. It doesn't matter how many years Walz had National Guard under his belt. It's totally different. Vance enlisted after 9/11 and Walz quit. That's the difference. I hope the media would be having, just like he says, they would have a field day if this was reversed.
Totally, they would. And I hope that Vance mentions that during a debate.
Oh, same. I hope he does. Hard.
I hope he does too. I hope he just pummels him with that crap.
And then speaking of, remember, because we talked about how Walz was trying to use that military service and spin it like he's super decorated and all that stuff, and it's all lies. He also uses it to talk about his stance on gun control. And you're going to hear how he talks about how he had guns of war. Like he makes it sound like he used guns in war, even though he never served in combat. Listen to this, because this also made me
make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
I'm sorry. You did not carry shit in war because you avoided war.
Oh my God, this guy is such a freaking liar.
It's amazing.
That I carried in war. That is stolen valor. You are a piece of shit. Unbelievable.
Total piece of shit. Oh my God.
This guy he is gross.
Mm-hmm.
And Vance needs to call him out for that.
Yeah.
You said you were in war. When was that? Timmy?
Mm-hmm.
When was that? Oh my God, he is gross.
He's vile. And he also, as recently as 2022, was paying families to get their kids' COVID vaccines. He was saying families who get their 5 to 11-year-olds protected from COVID get $200.
Well,
he's still encouraging kids to get a vaccine that they absolutely do not need and that can be dangerous for them.
Well, he wasn't paying them. Taxpayers.
God.
Taxpayers were doling money out for this, which is insane. If you live there, I would be so pissed.
Oh my God.
If I lived there and I saw this, I'd be like, seriously, I'm paying for that? Like that's insanity. Why are we doing that? Why are we paying for that? No wonder they're broke.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to give you as many examples as possible, as you can see, of like on every issue, how wrong and how disgusting of a person he is.
And it's easy. Look how easy this is. This guy,
oh my God.
This
is just half of it. This is like not even scratching the surface.
Right. He's a lunatic.
And then what does the media do? They call him cuddly, you guys. He's cuddly and all kinds of other synonyms.
Kamala Harris picks Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as running mate.
What does Walz bring to this?
He's cuddly.
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 Cuddly? I think she went for maybe a little more of a cuddly choice.
Tell us more about like the texture of the man. He seems to almost have a twinkle in his eye. Tim Walz is the opposite of weird.
Tim Walz beats America.
He sounds like, a football coach.
He's a hunter that you could visit with at the hardware store.
In a dictionary, if you had weird and anti-weird, you'd have Tim Walz's picture there.
I bet knows how to make a good hot dish casserole.
He's very down to earth.
It's his authenticity.
Authentic communicator.
The word joy came up a lot.
He's joyful.
He seems happy.
A happy-go-lucky warrior.
And he's happy and a happy warrior.
The joyful warrior.
He is one happy warrior.
A happy warrior.
The happy warrior.
Nice guy.
Good guy.
A very nice person.
Reliable.
Definitely affable.
He's an extremely affable individual.
It's very affable, plain-speaking way, a folksy vibe. This folksy idea.
Terrific vibe.
Vibes election.
Kind of a folksy guy.
The idea that Tim Walz is some lefty is just not true.
I don't think either of them are Bernie Sanders progressive.
A rather safe pick. I think a safe pick.
The safe choice. This is a do no harm pick. Do no harm.
He's just more of a vanilla pick.
It's a younger version of Joe Biden.
We got Brad Summer. We've got coconut tree memes.
There's joy in the Democratic Party right now.
Those outside of Pittsburgh loves Tim Walz. So talk about Walz.
How can these people look themselves in the mirror when they go to bed?
They believe it. Those people genuinely, because there is excitement, and that's what's scary to me is that it's working. Everything that they're doing is working.
Yeah, but the talking points it's CCP level propaganda, mock.
I know that, but I'm not the target.
Listen, I know, and I get it, but I'm saying the people delivering it. How can they sleep at night when they know they're delivering that propaganda? Because they get talking points. They get these words and these phrases, and then they just spew it out of their pie holes. They do it and they don't think about it. They just do it because they want a paycheck and they want to be part of the club and they want to continue to have jobs, and they have no souls. Seriously. That's how I feel. These people are soulless, vapid excuses for human beings. And they do this. And it's like, do you not see what you're doing to the country? Do you not see what you're doing to, like, journalism is dead, right? But do you not see what you're doing to your country and what you're doing to your fellow countrymen? Because you're lying. You're just getting talking points from the powers that be. And then you preach to everybody and say, oh my God, we're doing it for democracy. Bullshit. Like
I think they believe it. These are all leftist journalists.
Oh
all
my
of them.
God.
I think that they genuinely believe it. What's her name? Is it Wallace? Nicole
yes,
Wallace?
Nicole Wallace.
She is giddy. Look at this. Look how giddy she
is the vibe of winning. It is momentum, pure and simple.
Vice President Kamala Harris isn't flawless. I don't think she would say she's flawless. She is running a flawless campaign. Yeah. She has not made one single mistake. And I think Democrats like to say, but she will. She might not.
It's a sprint now.
Republicans have nominated Trump 3 times. I mean, she is running a flawless campaign. And this choice, even 8 hours ago, I think wasn't as obvious as it is now.
They love this. They love it.
But there's got to be a couple that are doing it and they know what they're doing. I mean, I'm sure some of these people are completely lobotomized. Like Nicole Wallace, she was gone a long time ago. She just has so much hate. It's just permeated her soul, right?
Yeah.
And so she's soulless, but man, she's so full of TDS. There's no helping her. But there's got to be a few that are taking the marching orders and they're thinking to themselves, well, I mean, I don't want to get fired. I'm just going to go through the motions and I'm going to do this. But they have to think to themselves, this is pure propaganda.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So many. I mean, when you watch those montages and we play them all the time, it's like they're parroting each other. They're all saying the same thing. It's so obvious what's happening in our country that there is a group of people that's saying, okay, this is what you say now. Okay, this is what you say now. And they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And leftists can't see it. Even when they see the montages, they can't see it. And like Nicole Wallace doesn't know that we're playing this crap. It's like, we're on to you, lady. We know what you guys are doing. And yet they still continue to do it. And I guess there are dumb people that continue to buy it. And it's remarkable to me. Mm-hmm. The level of propaganda in what was once a free United States of America. It breaks my heart.
Yeah. Well, it is so frustrating to see so many people fall for the bull crap. They're absolute sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Trump caused a bit of a stir towards the end of the day yesterday because he posted this saying, what are the chances that crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the U.S., whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama, crazy Nancy Pelosi, shifty Adam Schiff, crying Chuck Schumer, and others on the lunatic left, crashes the Democrat National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate. He feels he made a historically tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup, to the people in the world he most hates, and he wants it back now. I think this is all nonsense, but some people were like, oh my God, he knows something. Like this is true. And Biden's going to come back and he wants his presidency back.
It would be hilarious.
There's no way that this is true.
It's not going to happen, but it would be hilarious.
But like, I don't know that this is helpful. You know what I mean? I feel like this makes him look afraid of Kamala and Walz.
No, I don't think
he's like pining for Joe. He needs to be focused on the prize right now.
That's not how I read it. That's not how I read it at all. How I read it is he's basically saying, hey, listen, this is what they did. It was a coup. Do you understand that he could actually do this? If he wanted to, he could stroll in and be like, I don't want to do it. I'm not effing leaving. Because they stole it away. It was a cabal that went in there and they did this coup. And do people actually realize what's happening here? He's just making.
You need to write his tweets.
Because he doesn't watch our show.
So much better. It's so much better.
You guys tell Trump to watch our show, and I will totally help him with comms. I've always wanted to help him with comms, and no one cares. I used to do comms for a living, and no one's ever asked me. And I speak Trump. He would like me. I think we'd get along.
Yes.
He never watches our show.
So much better.
I know, but he doesn't ever listen to me. But that's what I'm saying. I understand what he's trying to say here. He's just not saying it very eloquently, because what he's doing is he's saying, hey, listen, this is what happened. You guys understand what happened? He could actually come in there and F stuff up, but he's probably not going to do it because he's in the basement eating ice cream, you know,
well,
and that's where they
old.
I know. And he's not going to do it. But I think Trump's point is that he could. And do you realize this was a coup? Do you guys because I know you guys are all like in this honeymoon phase of, oh, come on, Walz. And that's what they're doing. And it's stupid because they've all been suckered. You know, It's all just they're pulling the wool over your eyes because you guys are all stupid. It's like everybody who has bought into this is just dumb.
So dumb.
And he's trying to point that out. He's just doing it in a very
Trumpy way. I know.
Trumpy way, mock, you know. Right.
Now, I will say his ad team, they put together some great ads. We've got 2 to share. One is not in this particular montage, but this one was just an immediate. They had it at the ready to go, just anti-Tim Walz. And it's pretty good.
What could be weirder than signing a bill into law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms? Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations? Try electing the man who signed those bills, Vice President of the United States.
That's right.
Enter Chief Weirdo Tim Walz.
I love it.
As governor of Minnesota, Walz supported legislation that endangers minors, hurts women, and puts radical ideology ahead of common sense. Now Kamala wants Walz to enforce those laws on a national scale. Tim Walz, too weird, too radical.
That's right. I love it.
Love that.
Fantastic ad.
Good stuff right there. Did I mention it's going to be a long show today? Hope I mentioned that.
Yeah. And I love that they're calling him Tampon Tim.
I know. It's so great. So great. Let me do some thank yous before we get to this next little grouping. Teresa Raymundo also explaining the name Jack to us. Okay, we got it. We got it now.
We got it.
Carrie O'Neill says, Chicks, thank you for being here for us. Thank you for saying that. Shelly Bolton says, hi, Chicks. I'm behind because I can't start listening at 7 and I am OCD, so I have to start from the beginning. But my kitty and I are daily listeners. Please say hi to Snickers. She will love that. Hi, Snickers.
Hi, Snickers. Hi.
Oh, my gosh.
So fuzzy.
She says we're totally here for the long show. Andrea Viola says propaganda should be a treasonous offense. No. Grammy Karen says Walz has actually lost weight. He was even more squishy a couple of years ago. Either way, he oversells it. Working Stiff said God said we should be good. He doesn't say be a doormat. Have a great weekend, ladies. Love watching daily. And SZ Plot said, so glad to be able to join live today, waiting for Debbie to bring more rain to Wilmington, North Carolina. Mock, you made the right choice to postpone your trip. You're right. It's the surrounding flooding that will cause traveling problems. Prayers for everyone in Debbie's path. See you all on Monday. Thank you for that. All right. So yesterday, if you were watching us live, you saw us play several clips from Trump's appearance on the Adin Ross stream. And he's a big time gaming streamer, zillions of followers, super popular, and it was well watched. Unfortunately, Adin Ross is one of those people that has copyright stuff and doesn't want his stuff to be shared by random losers like us. So we had a copyright strike on YouTube and had to remove those clips. That happens from time to time when people don't want to share and don't need the extra publicity because they already have zillions of followers, then we get docked and we have to remove that stuff from our show, which sucks. But just so you know why that happens, because I know I see a lot of people going, why did that get taken out? Why did that get taken out? That's why. So quite likely, because we're going to be playing another clip from him now, that this will also get removed later. So just know that that's probably going to happen. But I think his message is really important. And we're going to get to that as soon as you see what Trump tweeted. He said, wow, Adin Ross interview yesterday exploded in a very positive way. The platform set an all-time record by far with 100 million views.
My God, that's amazing.
Congratulations to Adin and his wonderful mother, father, and family, who I had the pleasure to meet. Thank you also to Barron Trump for the introduction to your friend, Adin. Young people are the future of America. Those numbers are really big stuff.
He's right. He's absolutely right. Yep.
So Adin obviously got a lot of feedback, a lot of great momentum for his show. That was amazing, right? Like what he did was amazing. But he also started hearing from a lot of people that he knows on the down low. And this goes to your earlier point of people needing to stop being afraid.
Oh my God.
This was kind of remarkable to even listen to. But
yeah. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. A lot of celebrities who privately endorse Trump, and they're telling me that I'm brave. And, how is it brave to do a stream with a former president and soon-to-be president of the United States of America? It makes zero sense. How does this make me brave? You know what I mean? It makes literally zero sense. Zero sense. Because of brand deals. I get it, bro, but come on, bro. I'm not going to say who, but there's rappers that can't even work with Trump because of their labels. They're not letting them do it. Swear to God. Omar, I'm not trolling you. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, bro. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous, bro. It's really ridiculous. You're so brave. Prison I are stressed. Check your texts. Where? Did you text me?
This guy is he's a gajillionaire.
He's a gajillionaire.
He's a gajillionaire, this kid. And listen, first off, props to Barron. Barron knows what's up.
Barron knows. Maybe Barron should do his communications. Barron should do the tweets.
Barron, yeah, maybe he should. But if anything, Barron should just be doing his PR is what he should be doing. And then maybe somebody else should be doing his comms. But Barron should be in charge of PR because Barron understands the landscape of who he should be reaching out to, obviously, based on this and the response that he got. Because this kid is savvy, obviously. He's going to be following in his dad's footsteps when it comes to business. You can just tell. But when it comes to like being afraid, it's ridiculous that we live in it. Well, at least I thought we lived in a free country and you could do whatever the hell you wanted to do. And there are people, musicians that can't do certain things with Trump. Why? Why can't
they get shackled by their advertisers who are like, we don't want you to say this. We don't want you to say that. It's such bull crap.
Yeah, it's bull crap.
Pick different sponsors.
Right. It just sucks that sponsors will pull out because why? Because this drives me insane. And I think I've told the story on the air before where I used to work in between like being a chick and then being a chick again. I worked at a company where I worked for a bunch of conservative people. They were really, all intents and purposes, the C-suite, they were all conservative. And they knew that I did this podcast. And there came a time where they were like, and I did comms for them. And there came a time where they were like, you know what? It's becoming problematic that you're a chick on the right. And so you're going to have to probably stop doing that. And I was like, you're going to have to F off. And so I stopped working at that job. I mean, they even offered me more money. And I was like, I'm going to go. I'm just going to go and I'll take a chance on being a full-time chick because I'm not going to. And these were conservatives, you guys. They all, with the exception of one on the C-suite, they were all conservatives. And they didn't want me being out there and being conservative. So this is the thing. People are afraid. If I were a liberal, they probably would have had no problem with it. Because that's like super, it's okay to be liberal in the world, right? It's okay to be all woke and everything out in public. But to be conservative is not cool. It's not cool. And that pisses me off. And so I was like, see ya, bye. And this is the thing, is that people need to be out there and be more proudly conservative. We've got to change that cultural, whatever it is. It's like we've got
it's starting to a little bit because like Robbie Starbuck has, he's exposed John Deere, he's exposed Harley Davidson. Like he's out there doing that work saying, listen, companies, your wokeness is going to cost you big time from your conservative customers. And they're feeling it just like the Bud Light.
Yeah, but
hullabaloo.
Individuals need to do it. Individuals are afraid. We hear it all the time from people where they'll write us and they'll say, I agree with everything you say, but I just can't say it because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to say it on social. I'm afraid to say it in my friend groups. I'm afraid to say it on my college campus. There are so many more people like you and like us than we think there are. There's strength in numbers. If you feel like you can't say it, find the people, find us, find the people that you agree with on this stuff and then say it with them. And then you'll feel so much more confident saying it on your own, but we've got to say it, you guys. Otherwise we're going to lose. We lose the culture war anyway. And so you've got to start saying it. We're half the country, for crying out loud.
Here's another fellow on TikTok who was very impressed by what happened with the Adin Ross and Trump stream.
Adin Ross just finished his stream with Donald Trump. This man, Adin Ross, literally had Donald Trump walking out to the song Many Men at the beginning of the stream. Absolutely iconic. And I'm going to be honest, this might be the greatest marketing to Gen Z that I've ever seen from Donald Trump. At peak viewership, there was over 2 million people concurrently watching Adin Ross stream with Donald Trump. While Trump was on Adin Ross's stream, he also mentioned some other stuff like ensuring that Playboi Carti drops an album if he's the next president. Literally every single streamer in the world today was broadcasting the Adin Ross and Donald Trump stream. And after the stream was over, Adin Ross has now donated over $2.2 million to Trump's campaign. It is not looking good for Kamala Harris right now. Now that most of Gen Z is over 18 years old, they are a huge factor in the upcoming election. There was a lot of speculation on whether this stream with Donald Trump was actually going to happen because just a couple of months ago, Adin Ross advertised a stream with Kim Jong-un, and that one didn't even happen. I have absolutely no idea how Kamala Harris is going to even respond to such a move like this. Adin Ross and Donald Trump are the GOATs.
Well, I mean, she's got Harry Sisson, right?
Yeah.
She'll respond with him. Good luck with that. Yeah.
She's apparently starting to her campaign is reaching out to like really popular streamers and social media folks saying we'll pay you to do content that's specifically for us and anti-Trump. So, I mean, they're just
and that's what they have to do. They have to pay people to do it.
Yep.
They have to pay for that. Whereas this guy's like, come on my stream.
And by the way, if you need to be uplifted, and because sometimes I do, God knows I do, when I see like the rally last night and I see all the energy that seems to be behind Kamala and Walz, it's very easy to just be like, oh my God, they have such a good shot at winning. But then here's what you do as the antidote. Dane Cook. Do you guys remember the comedian Dane Cook?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So before Biden got out of the race, like right before, but it was after the debate, Dane Cook posted on TikTok, and it went viral, a question to the world saying, hey, TikTok world, what do you guys, where are you right now? Like, what are you thinking in terms of who you're going to vote for? I'm not being political in asking. I just want to know, I just want to get a feel, do an informal poll where everybody's heads are. And like almost to a comment, there were 90,000 something comments, and everyone was like, I used to be blue, I'm voting for Trump. I used to be blue, I mean, like so many people. And I was like, this is amazing, but it's not Biden anymore. So now what? So he did a second follow-up poll, and it's just as good. And so if you need to feel like you're not alone, go read the comments on Dane Cook's post asking for who people are voting for, because it will make you feel so much better. Like, and it made me feel so good.
And it does, I have to remind myself that there are people on our side are very silent. And so they go to the polls and they vote. I hope they go to the polls.
Cool.
But they are very silent. They're not as loud as these morons. And like stupidity is just louder.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a feel good. And so too is this amazing ad. Again, this is a pro-Trump ad that uses no Trump at all. It's all Reagan.
Welcome, President Ronald Reagan, who has a few questions for you.
All of you will go to the polls, who stand there in the polling place and make a decision. I think when you make that decision, it might be well if you would ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for you to go and buy things in the stores than it was 4 years ago? Is there more or less unemployment in the country than there was 4 years ago? Is America as respected throughout the world as it was? Do you feel that our security is as safe, that we're as strong as we were 4 years ago? If you don't think that this course that we've been on for the last 4 years is what you would like to see us follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
President Trump. He'll make America great again.
Israel.
I mean, that is amazing.
That was a really good one.
I love that ad.
Don't you miss
so
the
much.
80s? I miss the 80s.
Yeah, the before times, man.
The before times were so good. Remember the before times, you guys? So
you also just have to hear how absolutely moronic KJP is. This is a very quick clip, but she was asked, listen, where the F is the president? Because we've had service members get shot at in Iraq by Iranian forces. Shouldn't the president be addressing the nation? Like, where is he? And she struggled with this answer, and it just made me laugh how much she was struggling. And I thought you guys might like this too.
Israel could be under attack any moment from Iran. U.S. troops in Iraq were injured yesterday. Why have we not heard directly from President Biden this week? We know he met with his team yesterday.
Yep.
We know today's VP Harris's big day, but he's still the president. Where is he?
Well, here's the thing. You have seen the president. He has been very clear about
okay.
making sure that we continue to try to de-escalate tensions. We just put out two readouts today.
Oh, there's readouts.
A readout yesterday.
Okay.
And our focus right now is to make sure that we continue to try to de-escalate tensions here. And that's what the president has been doing.
Not answering the question. She didn't answer the question.
God.
Where the F is he?
You've seen him. He's been very clear.
There's readouts, you guys. There's readouts. What the hell is it? What's a readout? We want to see him lead the country.
Like
well, you know what I'm saying. It would be nice to see a leader leading the country. We don't care about readouts. You twit. God.
M. Rincon says Trump needs to listen to Daisy. I completely agree with that.
He's got to listen. He should just listen to our show, everyone. I think he'd like our show.
And C2 Taylor says, I'm not sure if it's the respect or the nostalgia, but that voice, Reagan's, makes me tear up every time.
I love his voice.
We have one more news story, and then we have a few like funny talks to take us out. But before we get to the news story, would you like to talk about, well, you talked about DD's yesterday. Do you have something for DD today?
No, we don't have anything for DD today. No.
Okay. All right.
And we also have a thing after our show. So
we'll keep it short, but I do want to get to one more story, which is actually the reason for my name today. And that is big news on X or Twitter, however you like to go by it. Linda Yaccarino, who's the CEO, was able to look at a congressional report about advertisers and how they have treated X, the platform, and it isn't good. And now X and Rumble, the CEO of Rumble, whose tweet you will see right here, are going to sue Google.
Oh my God.
Which is amazing, right?
I love this so much.
You're going to hear a message straight from Linda Yaccarino about what she discovered and why she's mad, and just try to not get distracted by her hand gestures, which are very unnatural. But what she's saying is really important. Okay, so here she is with her weird hands.
Hey, everybody. I was shocked by the evidence uncovered by the House Judiciary Committee that a group of companies organized a systematic illegal boycott against X. It is just wrong, and that is why we are taking action. Today, we filed an antitrust lawsuit against the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, 4 of its key members, and the World Federation of Advertisers. These organizations targeted our company and you, our users. The evidence and facts are on our side. They conspired to boycott X, which threatens our ability to thrive in the future. That puts your global town square, the one place that you can express yourself freely and openly, at long-term risk. People are hurt when the marketplace of ideas is constricted. No small group of people should be able to monopolize what gets monetized. This group is no match for the power of our users. All of you, the very same users that have driven usage of X to all-time highs. I joined X because I believe in the power of the global town square. It's users like you, people of all backgrounds and opinions, who make X indispensable. You deserve an open platform where your views can be expressed without restriction and without fear. To all of you who have been part of this transformative journey that we're on, thank you. Rest assured, X has never been more committed to innovating and expanding all of our global town square.
It was
just a lot of pointing.
It was a lot of
but good on her. Good on them. Good
totally.
On just Godspeed.
Totally. I'm right there with them. You go.
All right. Just a few quick, cute things to take us out because we are late for a meeting. Sorry, Valen. We'll be right there.
Sorry, Valen.
You guys, look at this. This is like, I don't even know how they got these dogs to do this, but what? Look. He writes him.
Oh my gosh. It's like, remember it was some sort of a taco company, And remember, there was a little chihuahua that used to ride a monkey. Remember?
Yes. Yo quiero Taco Bell.
It wasn't Taco Bell. It was some other, you guys probably remember the name of the company, but I used to love those commercials. Oh, it was so great. So great. Yeah.
They're such funny little dogs.
They
such
are.
Funny little dogs.
They really are.
Sooner Be Me says Reagan and Trump are the goats. Indeed, they are. So this video is for you because it shows a normal size cat and one of those Maine Coon cats. So you can see how gigantic the Maine Coon cats are and how badly you need one. Look at this. He's enormous.
Yeah. My husband has been sending me videos of these cats as kittens, like for the past couple weeks. And my daughter and him are conspiring together now. And he's like, these are the Great Danes of cats.
They really are. They really are.
He is obsessed with them. And I'm like, honey, I don't think we should get a cat. I mean, we're probably really allergic. But yeah, he thinks we should get a Maine Coon.
Yeah. I mean, they would fit right in. For real.
Totally.
I can't remember if we've shown any of the tortilla challenge before, but it's when it cracks me up so bad. So you fill your face with water, right? And then you do rock, paper, scissors with somebody, and whoever wins gets to slap the other person with a tortilla. And you're supposed to try to keep the water in your mouth. This is the goal. It's always a fail and always hilarious.
I want to play this with my family. You and I need to do this. We have got to do this. We have to. We have to do this with our team, with our Radio America team. Oh my God.
And then this is just the oldest baby in the world.
He's like Tim Walz old is what he is.
This is what I imagine Tim Walz looked like as a baby.
This is Tim Walz, you guys.
So old already.
So mad and old.
I love him.
He's so cute though. I don't want to call him Tim Walz because he's really cute.
So irritated.
It's mean to the baby. Yeah, he is. He's
I mean?
like, why did I have to come out? I was so warm in there. I was so warm and floaty. Why'd I have to come out?
Great. Oh my God. Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Those are really good. Those are good. All right, we have to go to a meeting, you guys.
We gotta go to a meeting.
So many meetings. You guys, we're not going to be on tomorrow. This is our Friday. We're not going to be on tomorrow or Friday. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hold down the fort.
Yeah.
And we will be back on Monday. Okay. All right. Pray for Mock. She's packing. Everybody have a great one.